Jasmine Kai, is it called Kai? Pronounce it. Okay, let's go, guys. 24th of May, 2021. Today is a Monday, and good morning to all of you. All right. Oh, got to put my recording up. I guess. Hold on, sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, blood in the water, sharks will be around. All right, now I didn't say arrive, I say sharks will be around. Now this is something you all know, right? When there's a drop of blood, right, that spill into the ocean, okay, very soon, even from miles away, the sharks can smell it and they'll go for the target. And we have seen this happening in the market, not the equity market, but the cryptocurrency market. All right, so we will be covering a bit on that later in the afternoon. But primary itself, right, you must understand the law of nature is that when there's sharks, because there's water, there's blood. When there's blood in the water, sharks will be around. It's something that you must understand this. This is the law of nature. So what happened is that you can see right now, the sharks are all encircling around the bowl, as you can see over here, this picture, this cartoon. All right, now the reason why the sharks haven't attacked yet is because law of nature, all right? As long as you are a living thing that you actually there's no sign of weakness or no blood, right? Usually animals like this predator, they will not attack. That's why in a way, you saw some documentary, right? A man went into a pond of piranhas. But as long as a man is healthy and healthy, no blood, no showing any fatigue and stuff like that, the piranhas will not attack the man. But the moment if the man do a bit of violent shaking or basically let the piranhas touches it, and then they scoop some flesh from him, and that's where all the frenzy began. So at this moment now, we are definitely seeing the sharks are all around in the market. But seriously, for equity market, until there's some blood, if not, you guys are still safe. That is what I'm trying to present my case right now, all right, for the equity market. But it doesn't mean that equity market is safe, the rest are not actually safe too. But we saw the things that's happening on the cryptocurrency market. We saw something happen in the commodities market. We saw something happen in the dollar index market. So I'm telling you this, when there's blood strain in the water, that's where the sharks will come in and go for the kill. All right, at the moment now, the sharks are still going around. All right, now later on, I'll explain to you these two animals. Now we know what is black swan. Black swan is basically a sudden, in financial market, we call it a sudden event. And usually the magnitude is incredible. There's another animal I hardly heard about this. I think I read it somewhere, but I didn't really go into detail. And that one is called a gray rhino. A gray rhino. All right, a gray rhino is that there's a big risk that's obvious but ignored. Okay, and usually people, the way to protect themselves is to stay diversified. All right, just try to tilt away from the obvious risk. Okay, so you got the idea now. So you get the idea what I'm trying to explain to you. So there is a gray dinosaurs encircling the financial market, but in order to protect yourself, you may want to tilt away from the obvious risks. Okay, so that is something that I'll share with you more in the second part of the MAO. All right, you realize that my MAO, every day I'll have something different for you guys. Don't you like it? Cool, right? Okay. Before we start our morning MAO, once again, I'd like to always inspire you, motivate you, and then push you guys. Don't give up, okay? The moment you give up, that's the end of everything. So a hungry stomach, an empty pocket, and a broken heart can teach the best lesson of life. And I totally agree this, right? How many of you agree with this statement, all right? And a hungry stomach, an empty pocket, and a broken heart can teach the best lessons of life. If you agree with this, please key the word agree right now. A-G-R-E-E, all right? Let me see how many of you really agree with this particular statement. Okay, I guess if you agree, Kelza, Jerry. Wow, a lot of you agree. I think coming in very fast. Okay, so basically, many of you agree on this. Okay, I totally agree on this. Right, when you're not hungry, seriously, you won't bother. Am I right to say that? Yeah, indeed. And if your pocket there's no money, you will know what to do. You try to find money to survive. Okay. And of course, when you have a broken heart, that's about family, about your love life. Okay, that's why you get inspired. A lot of ladies I know, they were very attached with their boyfriends. Then after that, for some reason, the boyfriend and them, they parted away. And of course, usually the guy is a naughty boy. They make the ladies very unhappy, sad. And then after that, the lady got so inspired from this as well. They recover, they rebound, and now they are one of the strongest women in the world. I think one of them we know is that very, very, very famous colored women. The lady. Was there anyone who know that? Someone very, very. She came a very, very dark history of past, and then after that she rebounded, and now she's one of the top, very influential lady. All right, lady with color. Anybody remember? So this lady, she's very popular. She's a billionaire right now in America, of course. Anyone? Yes, indeed. Yes, Oprah Winfrey. Exactly. So you you bother to read Oprah Winfrey history, right? You will see that she came from a very tough life, very young, in a very tough life in his young days. And after that, she recovers, and how she really climbs up the ladder is incredible. Yes, indeed. Guys, well done, guys. You guys are well read. Okay, guys, so let's not give up, all right? Not give up. As long as we don't give up and we leave no one behind, we should be able to do this. Okay, let's continue. All right, so first of all, disclaimer as usual, I need you to understand this. Please read all this disclaimer called content because it's very important. You need to understand this. Then you need to consider your current financial condition. And once you have accepted the above, you have identified me. All right, I'll call 5 seconds. If you're staying on, means you have agreed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, some people ask me, Cal, why don't you just put it there and then just move on? Well, I think that it's a responsibility thing. It's that being responsible is all right. A lot of apps, a lot of documents, a lot of TVs put disclaimer, but hardly people bothers, all right? And then move on, but it affects your life. So to me, it's this 5 seconds or 10 seconds when I'm talking about it, is to really remind you about being this part here, really to make sure that you know that all this thing itself will affect your life. You need to check and balance. That's why I take the extra effort to explain this every single MAO. It's for you and for myself, okay? All right, yes, J.K. Rowling is another one, another lady. She basically wrote so many books. She was a single mother, if not wrong. And then after that, it's all right. No one, think about this. Harry Potter, anyone and everyone loved this novel, all right? And love this story, this movies. And imagine at that moment itself, when she wrote this, no one liked it. Everybody just throw her out. Until one day, someone really appreciated it, and wow, that's where she went up. So that's why I tell myself this, even by myself. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what is going on in the market. As long as I believe in it, I believe that our trade with the boys will become a very big brand in the future come. We know that the crazy coin will be the one that's going to propel up to the new wealth. You guys, as long as you stay with us, we will roll together. That's what I'm seeing right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gerald, for bringing that. I was just want to bring out this lady name. Thank you. All right, so let's just go through the reason why to stay bullish for now. Okay, so I'm going to categorize this bullish in the morning. Then after that, so-called the alternate views. Until the market sentiment changes, then of course this will change at the same time. So what are the reasons to be bullish? Well, this is the one reason. You can see that the market, okay, the S&P 500 is going up in a straight line ever since the pandemic, all the way vertical 45 degrees angle. Now, the only reason and the only reason is because the Federal Reserve balance sheet also go at the same time. You can see that they are going in a very similar parabolic, okay? So it is very clear, it's evident. So as long as the Federal Reserve going to put more money into the system, there's no reason for stock market to fall. And that's the reason why I say, even though there's a lot of sharks encircling the financial market, but as long as Federal Reserve, the foot is on the pedal, all right, there's no way the market can fall. All right, so that's why just watch this. Just watch the Federal Reserve, okay? Now, of course, for those who are involved into other market, like QQQ trust units, right? Some of you say that, hey, NASDAQ has fell quite a fair bit. Can we buy into QQQ? Well, I'm taking alternate market views for this. I'm showing you conventional charts. Well, some of the conventional charts, like the stochastic and the Bollinger Bands, are all showing that the market should be able to, stochastics and the MACD, shows that the market should be recovering soon. And of course, the stochastic shows that there's some so-called support at the MAs. So basically, in technical form, looks positive. And of course, the main important thing is that the S&P has gone 134 days without a 5% pullback. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is that, right, the market just cannot come down. So your risk is only 5%. So a friend of mine was just saying, Cal, every time market come down at 2%, 3%, just buy. Don't care, don't bother. And honestly, for the last 134 days, if that is your strategy, you will make money, and you make a hell lot of money. So probably that's the reason why Arun has been buying and buying and buying, because seriously, it is a mad thing itself. So you realize that, right, from 1928 itself, right, usually we have, whenever there's 5% correctional move, that is where you can see over here, you can see that this is the number of days since a 5% drawdown, you see. So we are now at new record level, okay, 134, so not new record, sorry. We are 134 days, we got a 5% pullback. But of course, on the flip note itself, 135 days to 140 days seem to be a bit off. Medium here, so maybe you just be careful, but overall that's the reason why the stock market is still very, very bullish. Okay, and of course now the question is the funds going from the crypto market going back to equity market? Now you can see a very interesting contrarian approach. Now JP Morgan says investor can put 1% of portfolio in the Bitcoin. That was February to 27. March the 31st, Goldman Sachs basically offers Bitcoin and digital assets to their wealth management clients. And May the 7th, Goldman Sachs execute its first Bitcoin derivatives trade. So basically from February to May, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan all be calling for a good buy. But interestingly, all right, let's take a look here. Interestingly, look at the way the crypto market comes down. And of course, on a very interesting note, on a very, very interesting note, on the 7th of May was here. 7th of May is where Goldman Sachs came in to do their first execution of their Bitcoin transaction. So I'm not too sure what type of execution they did, but almost identically from that moment itself, right, Bitcoin plummeted. So all I can say is, well, there's two ways. I don't think they will screw their wealthy clients up unless there's 3 types of wealthy clients or 2 types of wealthy clients, the one that they can sacrifice and the one they won't sacrifice. So we won't know that. But that's for sure itself, right, at this starting point, there was full of buyers. But now things have changed a bit. So there are some saying that, right, you look at it, the crypto market is coming down, but the equity market is staying strong. So they are saying that likely the market may be moving funds back to the equity market. And that's why they're saying that likely itself, right, okay, the S&P 500 can go to 4,500. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think that crypto funds will go to equity market? If you say yes, put that crypto to stocks. If you think that, right, the market funds from crypto market will go to equity market, please key the word crypto to stocks. If you believe that, please do that now. Now, if you think that, nope, you don't think so, just key the word no. Let me see how many of you will have your own views on this particular area here, right? Let me see, there's 91 of you, so we should have good numbers. All right, so we have Colin say that crypto to stocks, Edwin say crypto to stocks, Carl also say crypto to stocks. Well, Alvin say no, okay, Alvin say no. Yuming also say crypto to stock, okay. All right, so we have some of you believing in that. Now, for me itself, right, I think last Friday, we were having a little sharing session. After that, Anna was asking me about my views of the market, right? Yeah, I did say this actually that my view, I think that it won't be crypto to stocks, it will be crypto to cash. All right, I really want crypto to cash. I believe that, right, there will be a market market going down to cash. This is what I feel. All right, that means that the money is not, because if you look at it in one very simple aspect here itself, is that the highest point where the crypto market was at that high versus today's price, it was 1 trillion in market value. All right, 1 trillion. All right, so let's say, you know, this money has gone somewhere. The question is, which market have infused with 1 trillion movement recently? So you look carefully, it's all right, you don't see this 1 trillion movement in the market. So somehow rather the market has pulled back, but there's somewhere the money has parked. And I believe that the answer, in my opinion, is just cash. Okay, so I will leave it to you to decide. Everybody got their own views. This is my view. So let us see how it goes over there. You may want to ask, then put cash for what? Well, that one is another thing. So let us, this is my view, all right? Okay. All right, so, let's just talk about something global news right now. Singapore COVID cases has now came down a little bit for community, but we just saw the first dormitory infection. So hopefully that this is not going to spread. And of course, you have more and more places that you need to be careful. Now, one thing very clear is that yesterday we went to Tampines, one of the malls. Okay, I won't quote the malls. I realized that, right, there's really, really very little people. And more importantly, no kids, right? Basically, I believe all the parents have kept their kids at home. So it was like mostly adults walking around to buy some grocery, and that's it. People go back home already. And the car park was pretty empty. So that is whereby I felt that we are doing a good job. Everybody stay at home. So continue to do a good job, okay? Stay safe, everybody. But something interesting happened in America. America is having the lowest level since June. Oh, okay. So it seems that the nations are getting ready for the Memorial Day, which is like kind of like, huh? I mean, seriously, America, yes, indeed, they have really dropped down quite a fair bit. FYI, their current infection is now only 26,000. I mean, they adjusted the figure, we all know. But let's take a bit of like, trying to be conspiracy theory a bit. And the high itself was like 360,000 cases. And today now it's 26,000. That's a very, very decent wow. Right. But the thing is this, right, and 49% of the US population have already received at least one shot of the vaccine. And 39% actually fully vaccinated. So it's like, okay, so does it mean that the vaccine really is working right now? So we can see that they are really starting to enjoy themselves. You look at it, wow, look at it. They're having makan outside, having beer. So I'm just wondering out front, right, maybe Singapore can go to this level soon. What do you think so? Or you think that actually America is behind time, and once they have this memorable day, then the thing will explode, like what happened in India, what happened in Taiwan. What do you think? Yeah, so that's why my point is this: they are not wearing masks. I mean, they are vaccinated, so don't need masks. So I was just wondering a lot: do we Singapore want to try this out? Then we have no problem, because we know that now we are not able to do a shutdown. It's because we really need the money, right? Singapore is one of the few countries that don't print money during this pandemic, and that is something that make us happy, because that means our buying purchasing power is still there. But the question is, one more hit is all right. I don't know how much can we take it. But from the Americans are doing is all right. It seems that they are showing to the whole world that, hey, no mask is fine. So I just want to question is this: so was Donald Trump right actually from the very beginning, or because Biden and Donald Trump, they are actually doing a wayang here? You need to be vaccinated and then you don't have no mask. What do you think? So it's kind of like, okay, it's either we're going to see something bigger in America, or really Americans have proven that no mask is correct. All right, so let's just see how it goes. All right, now the US data. Okay, now last Friday we saw the US data. The existing home sales is supposed to be about 6.09 million, but the final figure was 5.85 million. So it's a bit lower, and it's a third straight month of decline. All right, still third straight month of decline. So does it show that inflation is nothing to be worried, or because that the people believe that this is a bit high? So we're not too sure what is the exact one, but definitely the numbers is decline. But did the stock market bother? Nope, the market didn't bother. And I've been saying this repeatedly as a broken recorder. As long as the US Federal Reserve is involved in the market, there's no reason for you to be worried. I repeat myself, there is no reason for you to be worried. Okay. So what do we have today? Now this is what we have for this week. Okay, I think there's something I didn't do it properly. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, so this coming week we have Tuesday, we have our consumer confidence. Okay, consumer confidence. Then home news of new home sales. Okay, then Wednesday, crude oil inventories, as always, Wednesday. Then Thursday, we have the bigger one, it's durable goods order, GDP, initial jobless claim, and pending home sales. So, but overall, these are not very heavy data, not heavy. So market is supposed to be a bit light in terms of data this week. Although there are some key numbers, but not that bad. Like durable good orders, right? You can see previously was 2.3%, now you're looking at 0.7%. If this number go to negative, then maybe the market will shake a little bit. Now, today is a holiday for most of the European market, right? All these are the countries that are having holiday, from Germany to where we have here the bigger one, like Netherlands, okay, the rest are Switzerland. All right, so what holiday is this? It's called the Whit Monday, all right? It's more of the Christians called calendar, but most of them are actually Christians, right? So definitely there will be a holiday for them. So do expect in the afternoon session, the market will be pretty slow, okay? Do expect the market to be very slow in the afternoon session because the Europeans are not around for today. Okay. All right, so let's recap what happened on Friday. But before that, let's look at the Hang Seng right now. Hang Seng will open very soon, okay? Hang Seng is going to open pretty soon. China A50 is going to gap up. So Hong Kong is likely going to gap up also. Let's take a look at Hong Kong. Okay, Hong Kong has gap up. Yesterday, Hong Kong closed at 28,317. Today, opened up at 385, slightly higher. Now, Hong Kong, you must take a look. Hong Kong now, the MA is here. MA is about 28,471. MLP is somewhere near here. So the MLP and MA is pretty near one another. So based on this itself, right? Okay, based on this, likely there is going to be some selling pressure to be upfront with you. All right, because it's still below MLP and below the MA right now. But of course, China A50 is pretty, China A50 just dropped that below OP. Now, China A50 today, the MLP and the MA is at 17,462. MA30 is here. So MA30 is below, but MA200 is above. So it's actually in the mid draft of both up and down. MLP wise, let's bring it in. Okay, this is the resistance, sorry. Okay, let me draw one more line. MLP is somewhere around here today. So overall itself for China A50, there seems to be some selling pressure at the moment. And that is a similar thing for Hong Kong, but Hong Kong now is trying to climb above OP again. Now, Hong Kong and NASDAQ is very closely related. As long as NASDAQ is up itself, right, Hong Kong will also be going up. So at the moment now, there seems to be still some positive in Hong Kong. Just that China A50 is trying its best to recover. So we're going to have a bit of sideways movement for now. Okay, not much really verdict for which direction the market will go. But we do see NASDAQ is recovering from this morning gap down. So that's why it's probably moving the market higher. Okay, so let's come back to this later. Okay, let's recap what happened on Friday, all right, on the US market. Let's take a look. Now, at the start of the morning, again, the Dow Jones push up all the way as usual. This is a usual thing that the US is doing. And usually when this is a parabolic movement, it's because some artificial buying. And on Friday, it was Boeing that was being pushed up. Then, of course, there was some profit taking. Then before the day ended, there was some push up, but very interesting. The last half an hour, there was some selling. All right. So again, you can see that in America itself is pretty undecisive, a lot of manipulation going on. So S&P 500 ended Friday flat, okay, but it's a first back-to-back weekly loss. It's not very good, okay. So what is the reason for the so-called downside? Well, we saw that there was some jump in the Boeing shares, but NASDAQ came off because of the crypto market. So overall, it's all right. The thing to watch out for is Bitcoin. Definitely, Bitcoin went down by 30% in a single week because Chinese Vice Premier Liu He says that Bitcoin mining and trading behavior is going to be tightened because they need to protect the financial system because there's a lot of so-called illegal activity going on. And because of that itself, right, we saw this Coinbase and MicroStrategy because they bought a lot of coins or they involved in Bitcoin. So they turned red. And Tesla, of course, fell. But Boeing is the one that propelled the market because the aircraft manufacturer says that, right, there will be more jets coming out by the late of 2022. So it seems that the US economy story is true. And of course, the bigger help is the US manufacturing activity. The IHS market flash US manufacturing purchasing manager is up 61.5 from 60.5. So that is, again, pushing the market. So overall itself, right, you can see in general perspective, the market is still pretty bullish, still good data. And even though we have crypto coming down, the market is still pretty strong. All right, at the news front, well, basically they are still looking at more positive upside. They felt that, right, the US economy is actually recovering. So there's no much reason to be panicked. All right, so that's what happened in the mainstream media. All right, so let's just recap on what happened in the Dow Jones on Friday. So Dow Jones opens here. KSI is red. Now, what is really scary is that we already know that pivot 1 is at 34,400. And of course, the Dow Jones stay above OP is a buy. And once it hit the pivot 1, for some reason, it just couldn't stay up and then went down. So this tells you that our pivot, our KTRs, our levels to be really used properly, all right? And truth be told, you can see the market was basically swivering around the opening price. Then after that, once it crossed the KTR plus 1, it shot right up after, you can see there's a very strong bounce at KTR plus 1. And once you go to pivot 1, for some reason, the market just know where to stop trading and came down. Remember, I did mention to you guys, for those who are online on Friday, I say those who are in profit position, you can consider take profit because I said that, right? Was why I say that because I saw the market touching the pivot one. So because the KSI is red in color on the day chart, so I say traders time to do some profit. And indeed, the market came down by 250 points in a span of about 4 hours, right? If those who remember that I said this to warn you guys to take profit when the Dow was trading at 34,400, please key the word REM, all right? And if you remember that I say this on the global market group chat on Telegram, okay? Okay, so you can see now in China, China market is climbing up still. Hong Kong is a bit flat at the moment right now. So that seems to really work together this time around. All right, thank you guys, Wilson, Gerald, Hosing. Thank you for remembering it. I did say that about probably 9:45 to 10 p.m. on Friday. I did say that. Okay, never mind, it's okay. All right, let's continue. All right, so now let's just look at the global market now. Okay, let's look at the conventional chart first. Okay, now conventional chart today, this morning shows the market is very powerful on the MA. The market this morning, when I draw my lines, was 34,131. We saw the market come very close by and then rebounded. So I'm going to upgrade this line a little bit to here. Okay, so basically 34,152 today will be the MA 30 level. All right, I'll write down for you. The strong support today is 34,152. That is a MA 30. And this morning, the market touches MA 30 and rebounded. So that's why the MA 30 is very strong for time being, okay? And MLP wise, I think we have the same figure for today. MLP is somewhere here. So MLP and MA is very close by one another. So unless the market bridges down, that's why probably explain why the market Dow Jones hit that low and then rebounded strongly, because MA and the MA and the MLP happen to be in the same at the same level here. Okay, so today 34,152 will be the first support and most important support for today. That's for the conventional chart. Weekly chart wise, as I said, we have a back-to-back losses, but almost usually back-to-back the next day we should see some selling. But well, the market is staying up, so maybe there's some artificial support again. Right, you can see from my trend line. Although the market is having a back-to-back losses, but the market is very strongly supported. So until the market bridges 34,000, if not, there's no reason for concern. So I'm gonna put for you now for the weekly chart, right? I want you to be very careful only at 34,000. That means that if the market can stay above the opening price for today, there's no need to worry about. But for this week, the market must stay above 34,000. The Dow has to stay above 34,000. If not, there should be some selling. So I'm going to write down for you. Dow for this week, the Dow must stay above 34,000. Okay. All right, let's continue. So let's look at the Dow Jones for this morning. Okay, so Dow, here we go. Now Dow Jones this morning, we're still seeing a very strong upside potential. Well, it's above OP, right? Above OP, within the two pivot, as long above OP is a buy. There is a resistance at KCB at 34,351. The high this morning was 34,335, missed by about 20 points. Okay. Now, what I don't like is that the market is going upwards, right? But the KSI is red. Of course, the red KSI is actually lowering down. There's a good news for the bulls. But it's just like, be very careful, my friends, because whenever the market is uptrend and the KSI is red, right, the market cannot break the previous low. Give an example is like this. Okay, you see that? Okay, the market is going up, but the KSI is red. So once the market bridges the previous low, the selling will be very fast. So I'm going to say this up front here itself, right? Today, I will put my sell stop. Now, every day, my sell stop will change. So now my sell stop is here. All right, my sell stop, I can put it here. So if the market, if the Dow Jones do pull back and breach below this point here, there should be some selling, okay? Because history has proven whenever this happens. It's the same thing with vice versa. If the market is going down, but the KSI is green, and if the market bridges the high, usually the market will go up. Can you see that? So that's something that we share during PTP, but I can share this with you right now because I want you guys to make money for the market. And I don't want you to be caught on the wrong side of the track. Okay, so guys, clear on this. If you are clear, please key the word clear, C-L-E-A-R right now into the group chat. That's my coffee. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you guys for being clear on this. Now, do note, by drawing this sell doesn't mean that you sell now and then you hope for the best and hope that you go down lower and sell even more. That's not ideal, okay? Who knows, the market may go even higher and no until one day, if the KSI for some strange reason is still red color, then maybe one day when the market come down, break the previous low, the selling will be huge, okay? So don't sell now unless you know what you're doing, okay? Please do not do that. This is very, very important because I don't want you guys to misunderstand what I say here and then, you know, go crazy and get yourself hit. Okay, this is very, very important. Now, the thing is this, I'm always very responsible for every single word that comes from my mouth, especially this segment here. So if anybody want to challenge me and say, Cal, you say this, say that, right? Very simple, guys. Everything is recorded. It's recorded by Zoom. It's recorded on YouTube. All right. On Facebook some more. So I treat recording to prove my stand here. So that's why it's kind of tough to try to, flame me for the wrong reason. I don't think it's going to be beneficial to you unless I really make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, I'll apologize, okay? All right, so this is the NASDAQ right now. The NASDAQ shows very strong resistance on the evening MA30. We saw it happening on Thursday and last Friday. Last Friday was very clear. It touches the touches the MA30 and pulls back strongly. So for today, the MA30 is somewhere around here. That is about 13,500. 13,500. 13,500. Now, what is something incredible is that there is some very strong support here at the 95% mark. And it is showing there. So as long as the market stays above the 95% mark for this movement down from all-time high, the NASDAQ is still pretty safe. The only thing is that today we have a double whammy here. We have it below MLP and below MA30. So the NASDAQ has to stay above OP, okay? If the NASDAQ drop below OP, then we may have some problem, okay? The NASDAQ must stay above OP, okay, for today. The NASDAQ must stay above OP to be very, very safe. Okay, for today, NASDAQ must stay above. Okay, right. Okay, all right, cool, clear. All right, so let's look at the NASDAQ chart right now. NASDAQ for today. Now the TWB chart, the NASDAQ is something, it's going to be another difficult trading day because why? The market opening price is below the P2, right? But the problem is that the KSI is still green. See green, huh? So if the market stays above OP, by general, it's a buy. But because OP to P2 is a uncertainty zone, so for buyers who are buying above OP, just go slow with this. And until the market cross P2, only when the market cross P2 and stay above P2, then that means that the P2 pressure is no longer there and market may recover. Okay? All right. So this is different. The market is up, the KSI is up, so everything's okay. Versus Dow is different. So that's why you need to have the TWB system to help you on this. If not itself, right, you may be lost. All right, you'll be lost. And you think that everything goes in tandem, then you'll be wrong. Okay, so next is S&P. Now S&P today is also pretty okay. It's staying above the MA30 right now. The MA30 you can see over here in the chart wise. Today is at about here. So that's 41.60. That's the same level that we mentioned last week. All right, nothing have changed. 41.60. So 4160 is the strong support today. So as long as the market stays above 41.60, I don't see any reason to be worried about for the S&P 500. So although the NASDAQ is down, but the Dow is strong, so that's why it amalgamated this whole index. So until the 4160 bridges, then we talk. If not, still a buy. Okay. So you can see that I'm very, very clear, very distinctive with my sharing. Okay. Buy means buy, sell means sell. All right. I won't mince my words. Okay. S&P 500 right now. S&P 500 today, KSI is red. Oh, okay. We have issue here. The KSI is red, but the market is now staying above P2. So as long as the market stay above P2, today S&P is fine. But if the S&P do break below the P2, that means below OP and below P2 plus KSI is red, then there will be some selling. Okay, but at the moment now, buying still okay because it's now have touches P2 and rebounded, so it's a pivot color change trade, right? So it looks okay for time being. Looks okay, huh? Okay, so we have this all have covered. Let's look at Hang Seng right now. Hang Seng is back down to the closing price of Friday. So there's some selling in Hang Seng right now. Not very good sign. Let's look at Hang Seng for today. Hang Seng. Now Hang Seng, we have problem here. Hang Seng today is below opening price is above pivot 2, but now it's trapped. It has traveled below P2 now with the KSI still very red. Now this is what I worried about, guys. Stand by for this. You can see Hang Seng has been going up, and once it bridges the low back then, it did come down a little bit. But then after that, it rebounded because of whatever reason, but now it's coming down again. So I'm going to say up front here, Hang Seng, today there's a cage SL here. Can you see that? There's a cage SL here, which incidentally is the low of the candle, of the uptrend candles. So if the Hang Seng do breaks below the cage SL level, then there will be some serious selling. But if not, if it hangs around there, that means containing the selling, so not so bad. Okay, so watch out for this cage SL level for Hang Seng today. All right, this is very crucial and very important. So now Hang Seng is recovering a bit. So hopefully it just stays above. Yeah, it's going up, recovering quite fast. Let's just take a look at Hang Seng. Wow, very fast indeed. You see that? Okay, very fast. He has rebounded nicely off the pivot 2. All right, so Hang Seng, as long as stay above pivot 2, the buying is still going to be strong, okay, unless something dramatically happen. All right, at the moment now, all looks good. China 50 is recovering, so that's why the Hong Kong market is still also pretty positive. Okay, Hong Kong is recovering back above OP right now. So again, this is going to be a BMV. So if that's the case, Hang Seng may stay above, and if you stay above OP, it should be going for KTR plus 1. But because the KSI is red in color, then maybe at this junction here, do consider to take some partial profits. Okay? Okay. All right. So that is the, oh, sorry, forgot to do DAX. So on. That is the Hang Seng. Just give me a short moment. Let me just, as usual, need to text out. Okay. Now this is DAX for today. Now for DAX today, everything looks still very positive for DAX today. Okay, DAX today is above MA 30, and MLP is going to be here for today. Overall, still looks pretty positive for the DAX market. So no need to worry for now. All right, but today holiday, right? So nothing much to talk about. Okay, but there's a resistance that I need to talk about. This is here. Sorry, here. There's a resistance here as well under PTP. Student will understand this. This is a resistance at 15,450. There'll be a resistance here, which Friday we saw resistance. So if Tuesday when the market resume, this will be the key pivotal point to watch. All right, so that is DAX. All right, so I covered basically all the equity market right now. Let's just now go to our gold. Okay, let's look at gold. Now gold has been flat for the morning, and then after that in the evening at about 9 p.m. the gold shoot up to about 1890 level. Then it came down very fast back to 1870s level. sideways for about 2-3 hours, then after it climbs back up again. Now, gold, in my opinion, is still going to be a very strong commodity. Right, so now the financial news are saying that 1,009 is in sight right now. They say that there are more people going to buy gold because they are now leaving from cryptocurrency market. Well, expected to come. And also now they're looking at the, as long market stay above certain support, their gold will be going. So that's why I'm telling you guys 19th of June, why am I talking about gold? Because you can see that my direction is always a few days early, and apparently this is really happening right now. So you can see from the gold chart. Now Friday there was no pivot, but KSI is green. There's no blue bars at the bottom. So as long as market stay above OP, is a buy. Okay, so ignore the lines here. These are the error lines. There shouldn't be any lines there. There's some problem with my set this morning when I'm doing the update. All right, so that is what happening to gold. As long as stay above OP, is a buy. So if you follow through, if you follow the steps of how you trade on no pivot day, all right, below OP you sell, so that's why you saw gold coming down. But above OP you buy, and you saw the gold going up. So again, you can see when you go below OP, it hits this beautifully. Look at it. Oh my God! I mean, the entire day itself, the market never see this point here, 1869.94, and apparently on the at the lowest point of the day, the market hits there and then rebounded. So that's why I tell you this, our levels, if you're going to put it into charts for before the market starts trading, you will realize that the hit rate of the numbers is going to be very, very high. And I told you before, if the KSI is green in color, right? Remember this? Look out for KTR -1, -2, -3. And you realize it, right? The market really knows it. The market, once it hit the KTR -1, in this case, straight away, the KCX was there. And almost instantly, the market rebounded. That's why I say, guys, where the KSI is green, concentrate at the lower KTRs to look out for buy. You'll be safer and likely profitable. When the KSI is red, look out for higher side to sell. Got idea for this? Can I understand that? This is the one of the better way to trade in the market. Just follow the day KSI. It's going to help you a lot in your trading. All right, you don't have to trade every day to win money, but as long as overall you make money, right, that's important. Okay, all right, so let's look at the gold market today. Now, gold is still moving very nicely, but it's actually now contained at the BNB level. So for gold, as long as it stays above this MLP, which is what you can see, the market this morning touches it. Now, what is really incredible is that you can see there is the 50% retracement mark and the gold is staying above it. That's beautiful. And in terms of moving average, it's a very strong golden crossover, whereby the MA30 is above MA200. I mean, the smaller MA is above the bigger MA. All right, this is pretty bullish right now. And this crossover happened to be in line with the BNB. So I'm going to say this up front, if the market do cross the BNB high and stay above it, right, I'm quite sure gold will go up by another $30, $40 easily. But of course, at the moment now, it's like trying to get itself prepared for the big move here. So if you ask me, is that right? Any pullback on gold will be a welcome note, okay? Any pullback on gold. Now, of course, you look at long-term trend, you can see that gold is now hovering above the 50% mark, and it's going for the 61.8. This is the entire high to the low recently, high from last year, August, to this year, May. That's a reasonable time. So you can see the crossover is there, and it's crossed the 50% mark. So overall, it's pretty positive, but the pullback will be welcome, really, really welcome by us. Now, the weekly chart itself continue to mount higher. You can see that it's still doing pretty well. So there's really no reason for concern unless it's an external problem. Okay, external problem means that, right, there is some bigger movement on the dollar. Now, the dollar is my biggest concern for all of you guys, the dollar. So let me just bring the dollar in, okay? Okay, let me just check whether my dollar index is ready. I'm having a problem here with my dollar index. Let me just see whether. Yes, it's here already. Okay, haha. There we go. This one is in, then it's easy for me to share. Okay, this is the dollar index. Let me just do a bit of template for you first. Here we go. Now you realize the dollar index is only the details are not a lot. I'm trying to seek for aims to look at it. Now the dollar index is only recently, so you can see the data are just very, very limited. Okay, very limited. But we ignore the MA, then it's not accurate already. Right, that's not enough to create. Okay, so but you can see that there is some strong support here itself for the dollar. So as long as the dollar stays above 89.71, the dollar index is still okay. If the dollar index is going to break the trend line, then of course things will change. So I think it's not that helpful. I think it brings us something that we can see better. Okay, the dollar index for the last 3 months, that's compare notes, right? Dollar index have been coming down from the high 93.3, went all the way down. But very interestingly, at 89.70 plus area, it always seemed to be very well supported. So that's why my view is this: if the dollar, because of whether it's suppression or because there is time to rebound a bit, I kind of suspect that later on, if the dollar goes up, right, gold comes down. When the gold comes down, that is a good time to pick the cherries, all right, and prepare for the next ride up. Because I still believe that the dollar will be weakened by end of the year. All right, so you got my point. So now we can see very clearly that the dollar has having some support here, and that's why gold is having about resistance at the moment. But if the gold do come back down, all right, do pull back a little bit, that will be a very welcome note to look into the gold market. Okay. Now, the only thing that another reason for concern you can see over here is that I don't like the RSI, though it's very bullish. Look at the RSI. The last time we see something like this, the market actually came off, right, quite significantly. Then the last time this happened again, it was here. We also saw that happening. All right. And previously, it also have such a intermittent showing. Okay. So now where we are now, we are almost at the fifth wave, fifth time we're seeing this. So is that a reason for us to be careful? Well, it is possible. It is possible. So any pullback is welcome. I'll tell you that. Any pullback is welcoming sign, in my opinion. Okay, cool. All right, that is how I'm looking at for gold. So let's hope that gold pull back and then we buy gold. So how many of you will buy gold when gold pull back? If yes, please key the list. We'll buy gold. All right. You think that if gold do come back down, you will buy gold, right? Please key that we'll buy gold. Let me see how many of you will buy gold when times come. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of people calling to buy. Okay. We have Carl, Michael, Cheng Hui, Wilson, Jasmine, Josephine, Philip, Eric, Anthony, Eileen, Lauren, Toming, Eddie. Yes, buy. Okay. Great. Now, I really hope you guys will remember what you say, because I can tell you this, usually for the financial market, how does it work? Is that now you chase, it's going to be very dangerous and precarious. Right, it's only when a pullback of significant, that is usually where people will get jittery. They say, hey, maybe we wait for a while, usually at that. So if you ask me, well, the first level that gold will hang around will be 1874, because that is a 50% mark. Okay, that will be the first level that gold must pull back first. So now we're at 1885, we're even stronger than this morning, right? So that's why gold is still strong, 1874. Now, the next number will be 1851. That is the BMB low. Okay. Then, of course, the next number will be 1828. That will be the 38.2 but 38.2 on a Fibonacci. So these three numbers will be the numbers that I'll be watching gold closely. All right. And of course, if the market can come down to 1811, well, that'll be even better, because that is the MA 200 where it is. Of course, this is actually going to be moving. Okay, so 1874, first support, 1851, second support, 1828 will be the third support. All right, so anytime the price comes down to all these three levels, it will be a good time to consider to buy gold. All right, so I'm going to put it for you. Key support for gold will be now at 1885. First will be 1874, second 1851, third 1828. Now only when I'm at home I can do this for you guys. If I'm in the office, right, I need one more set. Then I'm recording at the same time, so I cannot key numbers for you. Yeah. Okay. So this is the levels for y'all. I hope y'all will enjoy and like it and utilize it well for your own benefit. Okay. But you guys are making money for yourself. Not for me, not for TWB, it's for yourself. Weekly chart still very positive, so no reason to be concerned for. So rest assured. Now, silver is also pulling back and getting nearer and nearer to my level that I really want to look out for. And silver here, that is the MA 30. All right, so if silver pull back to $27, below 27 will be a lovely time to buy. But if you ask me, I prefer here lah. I prefer 25.90. That will be the best time to buy silver. Maybe $26 around there, because silver doesn't really touch MA 200 too much. So maybe around here, $26 can buy. So that's key for you. All right, silver support at 27.10. Ideal price to buy is $26. Okay. All right, so silver now at 27.70. Okay. All right. So this is like give a record for all of us to take note of the silver market. Okay. All right. So for gold today, let's take a look. Now, I think this morning, Sister Cynthia already mentioned today is an inverse pivot for gold. Inverse pivot for gold means what? What does inverse pivot means? Can anyone tell me what does inverse pivot means and what is this impact? Anyone can share with me? What does inverse pivot means and what is the impact of inverse pivot? All right, anyone can type in for me what does inverse pivot means and what's the impact? Yes, indeed, Michael, correct. There'll be a bigger movement usually that will come with that. Okay, cool. That's a good answer. Anything else? Okay, no one more? Okay. So you can see that we have a BNB, which is here. Okay, a BNB. So the high and low will be very important resistance support. Okay. Then now we have then after the next day, we have a no pivot day. Then we have this movement upwards and the KSI is green and there's no blue bars. So ideally, as long as the gold stays above OP, gold today will hit 188 easily. And I think it's going to happen soon. All right. Gold should likely be hitting the 1888 mark, which happened to be the pivot 2 for today. All right. Now, if it stays above it, then I think gold may go all the way to 1914 today. Okay, it may go there. All right. It's a strong magnet. Yes, indeed, it's a strong magnet. But if gold cannot stay above 1888 and pulls back, then the selling may bring it down all the way to 1863 because of the same reason, which is strong magnet. So, dear all, I will say this up front. Today, if gold first resistor will be 1888, then if you can stay above 188, it will go to 1914 rather easily. That's a KCP level. But if the gold pulls back, then 1863 will be the level to watch out for today. All right, clear on this? All right. For today, watch out for gold, okay? All right, watch out for gold. 1863 and 1914. Two numbers for today. Okay, all right, cool. I hope I have given you a good, thorough explanation. All right, then look at crude oil now. Crude oil. Now, crude oil has rebounded strongly and created a BNB as of Friday. Okay, a strong rebound on crude oil and also did a BNB. So by logic, this is the MLP. So by logic itself, right, today's crude oil high and crude oil low will be the BNB to watch. So now crude oil is staying above the trend line and also above the high of the BNB. So it looks like crude oil may actually do a recovery. All right, it may. All right, let's watch this closely. All right, guys, I've come to the end of this morning session for the part 1. We will see part 2 right now is the alternate market view. So if you are ready to stay on, all right, you stay on. Give myself 10 seconds break. I'll come back soon. Okay. So you think that you're enough of the positive news, you want to stay positive, you can now leave this group chat right now. Thank you. Okay, by staying on means you understand the risk reward ratio involved. Let's continue. Now, what is black swan and what is versus a gray rhino? How many of you actually heard of gray rhino? Don't talk about the animal itself, talk about the financial market. You have heard about the gray rhino. If you heard of the gray rhino, please key the word gray, G-R-E-Y. If you have heard of this word gray rhino in the financial market, please key the word gray right now. If you say nope, first time hearing this, then key the word no, N-O. All right, let me see how many of you have heard before of the gray rhino and how many have not heard before, here before. Right, while waiting for your answer, a black swan event is something that can't be predicted, and it has a profound effects on the market. Okay. While gray rhino is known to be economic risk that people choose not to act on despite the potential for harm. Okay, so let me see how many of you know that. Let me take a look. So Kelza, no. Carl, no. Philip, no. Allison, no. Joseph, no. Vincent, no. Okay, only Fred say yes. Joseph say no too. All right. Now, honestly, I heard before, but I never went into it, so I will classify myself as no lah. Okay, now nothing wrong to be doesn't know. I mean, who the hell know, correct or not? There's so many different animals. By the way, when I'm looking at this, there's even more animals, even elephant, we have even something else, okay? But I think gray rhino makes a lot of sense. Now, gray rhino, if you know rhinoceros, right? Okay, they don't really attack, but when they attack, right, they go for the kill. And you know that there's more people dying due to rhinoceros attack is more than sharks attack easily. So actually this gray rhino itself, right, is like it looks calm, looks okay, but it's full of danger. And when they attack, wow. Okay, so it's something like that. Okay, so why do I talk about gray rhino today? Is because what are the gray rhinos that is actually affecting the financial market? Now, these are the 3 things that I got from the internet. These are the 3 gray rhinos. Okay, all right. There's black rhino, by the way, King Hua. Yeah, indeed there are. Okay, all right. Okay, so the run-up in commodities prices, okay? Commodity prices. Actually, by the way, there's white rhino, by the way, King Hua. Albino type. Okay, all right. The run-up in commodity prices, including cryptocurrency. Now, we know that basically commodity prices have been going up, okay? Have been going up. And of course, there was a bit of selling recently. All right, and cryptocurrency also came down by 50%. So there is a question mark about the problem that is there with commodities and also cryptocurrency. People know it, but people still get involved. Of course, those who stay on and make money, fine. But those who stay to the end got hit. All right. Now, inflation data like CPI and the PPI release also garner a bit of attention. Well, Goldman Sachs Global Stabler forum this week shows that the number of CPG company calling out for inflation has likely to grow. And of course, when more and more people are getting a bit of concern of the inflation, the question is this: if Federal Reserve do not want to act, then people get a bit worried, okay? And of course, the last one will be the S&P 500. Right now, the PE ratio, I'm not too sure how they get this one, but I know the PE ratio that we know is more than 22%, 22 times. So it's a very high historical valuation indeed, because on usual it's about 16 to 17. All right, so David Costin is one of the very famous strategists. They also look at that the market can be a bit worried. So these are the so-called gray rhino problem that is still there. But I say until Federal Reserve stop their tapering, if not right, whatever is there, the market is going to stay on for time being. So what we saw is that now, are they affecting anybody? Yes, of course. Look at Tesla. Tesla is down for the 5th weekly loss in a row, the longest losing streak in 3 years. So the last 3 years, even though Tesla shares have been, Tesla has been really on a darling, but for the first time in 3 years, we're having the longest losing streak, and it's still selling, by the way. So is there any call for concern? Well, let's look at the chart right now. Okay, this is the Tesla daily chart. You can see now that Tesla daily chart, it did try to rebound last few days, okay, from the low end, right? But the KSI is very clearly red in color. So using the same context I shared you on Dow Jones, right? As long as Tesla stays above the OP of today, then it's fine. So the OP level for today is the OP, the low of today is 578. So in short itself, as long today Tesla stay above 578, should be okay. But if Tesla stay below 578, right, and the KSI is red in color, there is a possibility of some selling, okay? There is some possibility of some selling, 578 right now. Again, I told you guys my personal take on Tesla. If you would really ask me, I told before, I'll say this again. My personal take on Tesla, in my opinion, it will come down to this point here first, and that's about 537. But the figure that I believe it may go down is a cover gap here, and that's about 408. So my view is that Tesla has to stay strong, because if Tesla loses 537, then likely there is a potential free fall to about 408 level. So that is my view on Tesla, okay? Again, on Tesla itself, right, things are not getting any better for Tesla. So things may get even worse for Tesla. Okay. Right, but crypto is also terrible. Crypto now has lost almost 50% from its highest point, and things are still getting worse. There's more selling right now in the market. I'll cover this more in depth later on, but commodity crypto is also down. Then, of course, recently lumber price came down quite a fair bit, right? But you can see very fast it rebounded with limit up again. So the movement in crypto, movement in these commodities are also very crazy. Lots of money to be used. That's why the market just go and push around. It's all pure algorithm trading. But you look carefully in the commodities since the start of May until now, we have a bit of pullback. So one way is that is it inflation dying off? That's why the commodity prices is coming down. Or is it because, as I told you guys, more and more people are putting their money into cash? All right, because they're not going anywhere. They are not going to equity. They're not going to crypto. They're not going to this commodities. So where are this money? Right, there's more than trillions of dollars are being moved around, but don't know where they go. So it's either that you're telling me they go into equity market, which is not really seen right now, or is it because they're putting in cash? So that is the reason why I'm feeling a bit more and more worried, because when they put in so much in cash, this is not a very good sign. Then, of course, last time we talked about US macro surprise index, many people were surprised that they're asking me, Kel, are you sure there's such a thing called surprise index? Well, it is. It's a degree to measure economic data, either beating or missing expectation. So at the lowest level, now we are not at the lowest level. It means that the data are no longer catching forecasters by surprise. That means that people are getting not surprised now with the data that is at the lower end. So that is the reason why this index itself, right, is actually done by Citibank, and they got a lot of analysts to give them their take. And apparently some of them are getting a little bit jittery. That is the reason why I'm showing right here, right now. And of course, double confirm, is this really real? You can go to Bloomberg, US Economic Surprise Index, okay? And FYI, it's going to go into negative for the first time. Maybe after so much money is given, the numbers are still down. So why are there concern of down factor? We have the non-farm payroll is a bit down. We have the CPI is a bit hotter. And of course, housing starts to go down already, right? So overall itself, right, people are getting worried. Okay, they're getting very worried. They realize that there's more even robot coming into the play. So, well, traders need to be very, very careful into this. And the last one for today, you can see that this is the Van Eck Vector Junior Gold Miners, all right, ETF. Now, usually the ETF and the inflation goes the same way. It's only when inflation goes up, right, so-called going up, that's why the gold price usually will follow. So now we are almost at a crossroad whereby gold will likely push up to follow, all right? So traders do be standby for this. Things may get a little bit crazier than usual because we don't see such thing in the last 10 years. Okay. All right. That will be all for this morning MAO. I hope that you guys are liking this MAO. All right. Thank you. And may you make money. Do take note of the order levels I mentioned this morning. All right. Wish you all the best. This is Kel signing off. Bye-bye.